Everyone. Welcome to the Masters of Engineering or MEng Internship Information Session. I would like to begin by acknowledging that the UBC Okanagan campus is situated in the territory of the Syilx Okanagan Nation and their peoples. I have been living on this beautiful land for over 20 years, and this is where my husband and I raised our family. My name is Shannon Hole, and I'm the graduate advisor at the School of Engineering. I use the pronouns she and her. My role is to support professional and research-based master's and PhD students from the beginning of their program through to graduation. Students can reach me by emailing engineering.graduate@ubc.ca. The support I can offer students can look like course registration, process queries, program and degree progression, problem solving, and directing students to other UBC supports. I also meet with students in person and online at least 3.5 days per week. Generally, if a student has a question or a problem or concern and they don't know where to go, please come and reach out to me. If I don't know the answer or I'm not the subject area expert, I can direct students to the appropriate department. Okay, our agenda for today. First, we're going to do some introductions. I've already introduced myself. We're going to have an internship presentation. Today, you will find that the presentation is geared towards students who are starting their MEng program in September. We will have another live question and answer session in September for our January MEng intake. Third on the list, we're going to have an MEng student panel. And then finally, we're going to have live questions and answers. A few notes to go over before we start. If you are experiencing any audio or video issues, you can adjust through the settings below, or you can connect with us through the chat function, and we will try and help you troubleshoot. Please submit your questions to the question and answer box or the Q&A box below. If there is a question that you like, please don't repeat questions, but you can upvote a question by putting a check mark or a thumbs up beside the question that you would also like to pose so that it moves higher up in the list. Closed captioning has been enabled, so you can just click on the closed captioning button at the bottom. And finally, if you're not able to stay for us for the entire session, we will be recording this and putting it on YouTube in the next few days. Okay, so now on to the main event. I would like to introduce my colleague, Jennifer Eberly. She is the manager of the Applied Science Co-op. Over to you, Jennifer.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Shannon. As Shannon mentioned, my name is Jennifer Eberly. I'm a manager in the Applied Science Co-op program. I'm here today just to share a little bit more information about how the Masters of Engineering Internship program works at UBC Okanagan. So I'm first going to start off just describing a little bit. Oops, sorry, my bad. I skipped ahead there. I just want to describe a little bit about the internship program, what it is and how it works. So first and foremost, the internship program is an optional program that all Masters of Engineering students can participate in. It's up to them if they wish to participate in this program or not. But if you do choose to participate in the internship program, this is a great way for you to gain paid, practical, and technical work experience that's related to your degree program. This program, although you are registered in the Masters of Engineering program at UBC Okanagan, the actual internship portion of the program is supported by the Applied Science Co-op program. So myself and my colleagues work with all the students in the internship program to help them secure internships through the program. Before students, are prepared to, take on an internship, they do have to go through the job search process to find a suitable internship. So once students join the program, we provide all students with some pre-employment training, which really is set up to help you get the necessary skills and techniques to secure internship employment. So we provide you with tips and tricks on how to prepare a really strong and powerful professional resume, how to craft tailored cover letters to particular positions, and how to succeed in the interview. And then all students in the program will be given exclusive access to our co-op job board. And this is where hundreds of jobs are posted. And this is where the vast majority of our internship students secure employment. And all of these jobs on there are geared towards internship students. So these are employers who are looking for cooperative education or internship students for short-term employment opportunities. So all the students, as I mentioned, will be contacted as soon as they start their program at UBC in September. We'll have an information session again to let students know about the program. And those students that like what they hear at the information session will be encouraged to submit an expression of interest in participating in the program, and then we'll stay in touch with you over the course of your degree to keep you up to speed with things that you need to do in order to participate in the internship program. And so it's really important for students to understand that the internship program is not a placement program. We really provide a supported job search program. So we're not placing students into jobs. Students have to compete for these jobs just like you would in the real world. And the other thing I would like to mention is all students that are in the program, if you are an international student, you will be provided with a co-op letter at the time that you are admitted into the internship program. And this letter you will use in order to apply for your co-op work permit. You don't need this work permit until you actually commence employment. So you have sufficient time to apply for this co-op work permit during your time in your 12-month MEng program to get it in time before your internship starts. Okay. Okay, so for example, you're in the MEng internship program, you might be wondering, okay, well, when do I actually start applying for these internships? So I'm first going to kind of give you a schedule of what a typical schedule will look like for a student that chooses to participate in the internship program. So all students commence their program in September. This will be your first term of academic study into your Master's of Engineering program. It's not until term 2 where you actually start the workshops. This is where we prepare you for the job search that is going to happen. Here in the winter term, this is where we're going to teach you about resumes and cover letters and finding opportunities to apply for, as well as interviewing. It's not until the following summer term when you are going to be actually commencing your job search and looking for opportunities that will start in the following September. So exactly 12 months after you've started your academic program. And so these internships that you're going to potentially apply for can be 4, 8, or 12 months in length. It's up to you to decide which opportunities you wish to apply for. And it really depends on what positions are available at the time that you're applying. It's important to remember that the internships must come at the end of your academic program. So it's a requirement that you complete your 30 credits of your MEng degree program before you can commence your internship. And last but not least, we do have to mention that internships are not guaranteed. Obviously, our goal is to ensure that every student gets an experience through the program. However, there's lots of things that are outside of our control, things that are happening in the economy, lots of geopolitical things that happen that can impact the job market. But if you do put in the effort and try to do your best and try to find a suitable opportunity, most students are successful. Okay. Which brings us to the next question. You mentioned that they're not guaranteed. So how likely am I actually going to be able to secure an internship? And I'm delighted to say that the employment rate of our internship students has been really successful over the last several years. Our very first program, so the very first students that joined the Master's of Engineering program started in September 2020. I think we all remember what happened in 2020. And so as a result, we didn't get as many students starting the MEng program as we had anticipated, given what was happening with the pandemic. However, 14 students did start their MEng program in September 2020. They commenced their internships in September 2021, and all 14 students were able to secure employment. The following year, our numbers of students that commenced their MEng program increased as we worked our way out of the pandemic, And for the next two cohorts, we had placement rates of 97%, again, exceptionally high, which is fantastic. And then September 2023 was a bit of an anomaly. There was some major changes that happened with regards to the BC Provincial Nominee Program that was due to come into effect in January 2025. And this really seriously impacted students' decisions to participate in the internship program or not. And so that number is quite a bit lower because there was a lot of uncertainty. A lot of students chose to not participate in the internship program and graduate right away in order to take advantage of the BC PNP program. And right now, we're right in the middle of May, which means we have 64 students that are in the internship program actively looking for employment starting in September 2025. So that job search has just started, so we don't know how successful we will be just yet. Okay, and so I know this is a common question, where can I possibly work? And so the one thing about the internship program is you're not restricted to working solely within the Okanagan Valley or within the Kelowna area. You can work anywhere in the world for your internship. Having said that, the vast majority of our students end up working in the Lower Mainland area of BC. This is a very highly populated area with lots of industry. And so that's where a lot of the jobs are, and a lot of our job postings come from companies within the Lower Mainland region of BC. The next highest area would be 16% of our students end up working in other parts of BC, which includes Kelowna, which is where UBC Okanagan is situated, as well as other parts of BC more in the northern areas and out into the east side of the province. We also had lots of students that worked outside the province of BC. A lot of students end up working in Alberta, where there's the oil and gas sector. A lot of students worked in Ontario, just a couple on the island, and a few students actually worked outside of Canada. And you might be wondering, well, what kind of companies could I potentially work for? So I've summarized just a couple to give you a sense of where our students have worked over the years. So here's a snapshot of some of the employers that our civil students have worked for. As you can see, it's a really broad range of opportunities. Some students worked within municipalities, for example, the city of Edmonton or the city of Richmond. Some students worked obviously in the construction industry, in Leadcore and Ellis Dawn. Some students worked in consulting, so SRK Consulting, Geo-Pacific Consultants, Water Street Engineering. Some students worked in the mining industry with Tech Resources, as well as in the utility sector, say, for example, BC Hydro. So lots of variety of opportunities for students to get experience in a variety of industries. For our electrical students, again, a very broad cross range of opportunities. Students worked in government, they worked in the mining broad range of employers. And lastly, the third discipline that we offer students is mechanical. And this happens to be the largest group of students that we've had in the program, which is why this has the largest number of companies represented. We just have a higher number of students from the mechanical discipline participating in the Masters of Engineering program. Again, a wide variety of opportunities across a variety of industries. So for biomedical manufacturing, for example, with Cardium, automotive with Tesla, municipalities, utilities, BC Hydro, chemical manufacturing, Pratt & Whitney, airplane engine manufacturing. So a wide variety of opportunities here. And as I mentioned earlier, internships can either be 4, 8, or 12 months. And so the vast majority of our students end up working 8 months. And so jobs, as they're posted on our job board, employers will specify how long they would like a student to work for. Maybe the project that they have is only a 4-month-long project, so they really only need a student for 4 months. Sometimes employers want students for 8 months, and sometimes employers would like students for a full year. 8 months is often the most common time frame, simply because 4 months is, in the grand scheme of things, really quite short. And there's quite a bit of time that goes into training a new person, a new employee. So, it could take 2 to 3 months to get a new employee up to speed. And then before you know it, 4 months is up and you're done. So 8 months is kind of that sweet spot where employer can really get their return on their investment. They've invested a lot of time and energy in training you and getting you up to speed with the job. And then the last 4 months is your opportunity to shine and really take on the role. And so close to 80% of our students are participating in internships that are 8 or 12 months in length. Okay. And I know this is often a common question for students is, okay, that's great. I've participated in the internship program. This is a great way for me to get employment experience to hopefully, be more successful in securing a post-grad job. So how likely is that going to happen? And again, I'm really quite pleased at how successful our students have been after participating in the co-op program or the internship program. Only 3 cohorts of our students have actually, completed their MEng program, completed the internship, and then have had the opportunity to be able to search out and secure a post-grad employment opportunity. So from our very first cohort in September 2020, they did their internships in 2021. 79% of those students were either hired by their internship employer or another employer within Canada. Again, the next cohort, they started their MEng program in 2021. 72% of those students ended up securing employment either with their internship employer or another organization within Canada. And again, the last cohort that has completed this entire process, kind of like a 3-year cycle, is up to 83% of secured post-grad employment. So that we're really, really pleased with that. So it's clear that our students are gaining that relevant experience to help them make that transition from student to new grad and new employee. So just before we get into the panel portion and Q&A portion of today's presentation, I do just want to kind of remind everybody about the process that we're going to follow in terms of asking questions. So do make sure your audio settings are working if you do want to unmute and ask a question. We ask students to ask questions through the Q&A box below. Please only enter your question once. If you see, maybe scroll through and see maybe someone has already asked your question. If that's the case, give it a thumbs up and that will move up to the top of the list of questions that will be asked. If you need closed captioning, please do enable that so you can read what is being said. And we're also going to be sharing a recording of this presentation afterwards if you want to review anything that was said. Okay, so let's get into our MEng panel. We have 3 panelists joining us today. So I'm going to introduce them one by one and have them introduce themselves to you. Okay, our first panelist is Emirali. And Emirali, I was hoping you can share with everyone what your discipline is, why you chose to participate in the Masters of Engineering program, and then ultimately, why did you decide to also then add on the internship option to your program?
Well, hi everyone. My name is Emirali, and I was Master of Engineering student in Civil Engineering. I've just graduated in April. And I completed my 8 months co-op at the City of Vancouver Engineering Services Department and Project Delivery Branch. I've worked as engineering assistant too. And then after that, I secured my job in another branch at the City of Vancouver Engineering Services as an engineering assistant 4. For the other 2 questions, I chose the MEng because it offers a strong balance between advanced technical coursework and a practical and hands-on experience through the co-op option, which is really helpful. What I wanted from a program for my master, it was I wanted a program that wouldn't only deepen my knowledge in civil engineering, but also prepare me for the industry by developing my professional skills and my field of interest, which was project management. And the 1-year timeline during passing the courses and combined with the opportunity to gain Canadian work experience as an international student made it a really ideal fit for my career goals. And why I was decided to join the internship, I decided to join because, as I told earlier, that I wanted to gain a real world experience. And even for me, that's municipal engineering was really interesting for me. It was really helpful to get into that and gain some experience in that. And it was great opportunity to build my professional network and get a better understanding of the Canadian work environment. And yeah, I think I answered all questions.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Amirali.
Sure.
Okay, our next panelist is Shubham. Shubham, if you are willing to introduce yourself, share your discipline, why you chose to study the MEng program, and why did you end up choosing to participate in the internship program?
Sure, Jennifer. Thank you. So, good morning, everybody. I'm Shubham Mohapatra. I was a MEng student in electrical engineering, and I did an 8-month co-op at Smith& Anderson as a junior integrated systems designer. I just wrapped up my co-op and I'm continuing at the same firm. So basically, why I chose the MEng program was it actually suited my requirements, and it was mainly because of the internship opportunity that would be provided at the end of your courses. Because I believe once you have your theoretical knowledge, it's best to put it into practice, and it's a great opportunity to network yourself here in the North American industry and understand the work culture as well. So that is why I mainly chose the MEng program and the wide range of subjects also, like since I was an electrical student, but I could choose from both electronics and electrical. Like I could take up courses both focusing on low voltage systems and the high voltage systems. So I think that is what made it a good fit for me. And coming back to the last question, like since I had some previous work experience back in my home country, I thought using that experience and the theoretical knowledge that I obtained through my courses, this internship would definitely help me do better and get to know the work culture more better over here in North America. So that is why I decided to take up the internship program. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And our last panelist today is Vishnu. So Vishnu, if you can introduce yourself to everyone, let everyone know what discipline you're in, why you chose to study the MEng program, and then ultimately participate in the internship program.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. My name is Vishnu Priya. I was student of MEng in mechanical engineering, and as like other panelists, I graduated in end of April. And now I'm taking vacation for 2 months back in country enjoying, and then joining back Schneider Electric in July. So the question you asked about why I chose MEng program, for me, it was something I wanted to boost my career. I was working in my home country as a design and innovation engineer in product design. And I'm a mechanical engineer by education, but I was working in mechatronic system design, control system design. And after working 5 years, I realized I need to, take a step ahead in my education. And I was like, what should I do? So I was looking for best program, and then I got MEng, and I wanted a good university. So of course, UBC is a big brand. So I enrolled myself, and the way Shubham mentioned, UBC offered variety of courses. Like coming from a mechanical background, I get to learn lots of control system. So that's how I was working in the industry, but I wasn't aware of the background. Why I was doing only practical stuff instead of getting so I chose to study lots of control courses. And then another point is MEng program offers internship. And why I chose internship, it's very simple. I wanted to come back to industry, and MEng program offers, a baby step to coming into the industry as being international student. it's really hard for me to make Canadian workforce know that what my skills are. And this internship program offers me to provides me a stage that, hey, I know certain things and I can contribute to the workforce. Another point is, I don't know how Canadian workforce work. Now I know, but when I was studying, I had no idea. And that's something is what was very crucial for me. So that was the best thing for me to take a MEng program, do internship, and of course, I'll get experience. I wasn't sure whether Schneider will hire me or not, and if not, then I'll get experience, that how they work, and then I can definitely participate in other interviews. Fortunately, they hired me, so I'm lucky, and the experience was awesome. Like, the work-life balance, workforce is awesome. So I really thank UBC for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. I'm open to any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Vishnu. I believe, yeah. So we're at the portion of the presentation. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A session, and we will pose some of these questions to our panelists to answer. And I believe, yes, Marie will be joining us to help facilitate this portion of the presentation.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Marie. I work with both Jennifer and with Shannon. So I'm just here today to help out a little bit with the Q&A. So we do have a couple questions that have been coming in. So I'm going to share the first one here. So the question is, can you maybe talk a little bit more about what the difference is between students who participate in the internship program compared to students who may choose to not participate in the internship program? Is there any difference in their degree, any difference in cost for doing that? So that, I think, is a question for Shannon and Jennifer there.
That is a great question. I think I'll go first. That was a lot. Can you just repeat a bit of that question for me, Marie?
Of course I can. Yeah, just bring it
Yeah.
up here. So the student is wondering what the difference is between a student who decides to participate in the internship program, or of a student who decides not to participate, just to do like the 12-month courses, right? Is there any degree difference? The one I just maybe stated is length, and any potential cost difference.
What I would say first of all is a student can absolutely complete their program in 12 months. And often we get some students who do that because they go out and they find a job on their own. Or maybe they're not able to get an internship position, but I'm sure these students are able to go out and get a job. But your degree will be the same degree. Whether or not you complete the internship or not. The only difference will be on your transcript. On your transcript, it will say that you participated in an internship program, other than obviously the experience that you get from the internship. But the degree itself will be exactly the same. As far as the fees, all students must pay 3 terms worth of tuition. So that's basically a whole year's worth of tuition. If you participate in the internship program, I can't remember what the fees are, but they are significantly less. So, and you are also being paid for your internship. I think that answers it.
Yeah, that's correct. I'll just share, like, I didn't mention the exact fees because it does change slightly from year to year, but when you're on your internship, the only fees that you're required to pay is your co-op program fee and your regular UBC student fees. That allows you to maintain your full-time UBC student status while you're on your internship. And so the co-op program fee is approximately $875 for every 4-month term. So if you secured an 8-month internship, you would pay that $875 twice. First in the 4 months and second in the second one in the latter 4 months. And then on top of that, you would pay your regular student fees that you would normally do throughout your MEng program. So that's like your student union fees, your athletics fees, health and dental, those sorts of fees. And so you maintain all your health, access to health services, dental services, things like that while you're on your internship. So it is significantly less money to pay through your internship. Not to mention you are being paid while you're doing your internship. So yeah, that's a nice perk.
Thank you so much, Jennifer and Shannon. The next question we have here is for all of our panelists. And the question is, what was it like, or what was the internship job search like as an international student? So maybe if you can touch on like what it was like applying for internship jobs and maybe some of the supports the co-op office provided along the way for you. And you can just unmute whoever would like to answer the question first.
I can go first. So honestly, the way we get access to portal, we have bunch of options available. We can apply, we can go through job descriptions, and we can read what interests us, what doesn't, and we can always apply. And honestly, trust me, we have bunch of options, like 500 or 600 more than that. I remember I applied in 200, so I'm a mechanical, so just like so many options available you have. And when it comes to co-op office, they're highly supportive. I personally get response like within a day if I have a question or any concern regarding job description or how to draft my, let's say, resume or cover letter or anything. So it's super supportive, and even the response is really good. And for me, I got this Schneider Electric through our portal, and they were like super excited. They received bunch of resumes, not only from UBC but even across country. And when I was working there, I keep hearing from my manager about the resumes and how they shortlist. So that was quite impressive what UBC gives us. Yeah, that's all from my side on this question. Did I answer?
You did great. I see that. Amarelli, I think you
Yeah.
unmuted, and Shubham, I don't, whichever one wants to go first.
Yeah, well, I wanted to add something to that. That's all the what we got from the co-op office regard something like they provide resume reviews, cover letters reviews, and also one other thing which is really important, it would be interview preparation sessions. It would be you can have an opportunity to have one-on-one advising, and you can, before getting to the real world interviews, you can prepare yourself with co-op office, which is really helpful. And yeah, all the opportunities in the PD portal, it would be too much, as Vishnu mentioned. There are a lot of opportunities that you can apply in whatever field you want. For example, in civil engineering, you have several options in different fields that you're going to project coordinator, estimator, designer, structural designer. So there are a lot of opportunities that you can find your interest definitely there.
Right, like even I would want to mention the same, like you'll get a ton of opportunities. Like me being an electrical student, I had like different designer roles, validation engineer roles, and power electronics engineer roles. Like there'll be a lot of options. All I would say is like just keep applying, and that's how you'll get your next opportunity. And the office was really supportive. They really helped me for the mock interviews, and they are very similar to the actual interview. So never hesitate, just reach out to the co-op office and they'll respond to you very soon. So that's all I wanted to add it.
One thing I would like to add for all of the students who are listening us is make sure to write your resume and cover letter. I mean, I know most of the student what they do is they make a standard resume or cover letter and they try to apply everywhere, but sometimes it doesn't work because we are master student. and every job description is different. Everybody's requirement is different. So I would suggest try to read job description, what employer is looking for, and try to work on your resume and cover letter according to that.
Thank you all. That's really great advice. And it sounds like you had a lot of great support throughout your internship and you were all successful in gaining that internship. So thank you so much for sharing what has worked for you and your advice. The next question here is for Jennifer. And the question is it more difficult for international students to intern at government departments? Do these departments tend to prefer local students, for instance, a transportation department?
I would say no. For the vast majority of positions, they're open to both domestic and international students. You are correct. There will be some positions that will be reserved exclusively for domestic students, and typically those are positions that involve government security, intelligence, or sometimes in the area of like aerospace. So like the Canadian Space Agency, the Communication Security Establishment. So those types of organizations generally will have restrictions to only Canadian citizens or permanent residents, but the vast majority of positions are open to domestic and international students. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about that. We've had lots and lots of international students go through our program, and there's lots of opportunities. I know Vishnu mentioned like hundreds of opportunities, and so a lot of our students actually get overwhelmed with opportunities and don't know where to start and how to determine, well, which one should I apply for? That's usually the issue. Not finding enough jobs is not usually a problem. So yeah. But yeah, something to be aware of. There will be occasionally some jobs that are restricted to Canadian citizens, but the vast majority are open to all. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. The next question is for our panelists, and Jennifer, you can also jump in as well. This one is for the internship job search. In your opinion, did you feel like you were required to have like a really strong background knowledge for the job, or did you feel like it was open to students who were stepping into a new field with little experience in that area?
I can go first. Honestly, I have 5 years of experience in the industry in product design. And I was thinking that, oh, it's easy for me to get a job, but it wasn't that. Honestly, every student was having enough opportunity. My very close friend, she was having a year of experience, and she got bunch of interview options, and I got bunch of interview options. So it wasn't like that at all. It was pretty good for everybody. Um, I would say if somebody has more work experience, you will definitely get benefit, but not at the time of interview, or you might get it. I mean, might or might not, but I got lots of benefit when I joined the organization. When the team came to know that what I can deliver, they started giving me more and more responsibility. That definitely helped after that, once they know what I'm capable of doing, or what kind of experience I have. um they knew I could handle individual projects. Probably they don't need to spoon feed me, but during interview, no. Honestly, I would say one more thing. I wasn't even asked a single technical question in Schneider Electric interview. They checked my attitude, they checked how I am responding to their questions, what kind of energy I'm bringing on the table, and am I, able to learn? Can they train me? That's all they checked. They haven't asked any question. And later on, they said, "Oh, I had your resume. I know what you did. I just wanted to know that whatever you wrote on resume is right or wrong." That's all they did. So don't worry about that. You will get plenty of opportunity. Just be confident. Don't get nervous. And even if you're stepping into the industry, trust me, you will get plenty of opportunity. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Did anyone want to add anything else? Jennifer, I see you're
Yeah.
unmuted.
Yeah, I can share a little bit. So the Applied Science Co-op program that internship students participate in is a program that's available to graduates as well as undergraduate students. And so the majority of the students in the co-op program are actually undergraduate students. And so these students have zero work experience yet. They're still working on getting their bachelor's degree. So the vast majority of the jobs that we have on the job post on the job board are geared towards students between like 0 to 2 years of experience. So all of our employers are going in looking for people who have very little experience, and they have very low expectations. What they're really wanting to see is, are you genuinely interested in this industry? Do you want to learn? Your number one job in your internship is to learn and to maximize that opportunity to learn. So don't worry that you don't feel that you will have the skills or the knowledge to do the job. That is your job, is going to be to learn. However, you will have to have some basic skills, which you'll have acquired through your degree program. But just like Vishnu said, they're really focusing on like, that team fit. Do you have those transferable skills? Are you willing to learn? Do you show initiative? Do you communicate well? Those sorts of things is what they're looking for in applicants. So yeah, most of the job postings are looking for students with very, very little experience. So this is a great opportunity for you to try something new. If you're thinking of shifting industries, moving in a different direction with your career, the internship program is a great opportunity for you to try that out. Yeah.
Great. Thank you all for sharing. The next question is for you, Jennifer. And the question is, can students apply for internships in any of the provinces of Canada, or does it have to be BC? And I also just want to expand it. Can they apply outside of Canada, around the world?
Yeah, so there is no restrictions really on jobs. You can work anywhere in the world. The only restriction we have is you have to be working in a safe country. And so we just follow Canada's travel safety advisory. So if there's any countries with a travel advisory encouraging people not to travel there due to a variety of reasons, whether it be war, civil war, things like that. Otherwise, you can work anywhere in the world. And you're not restricted to only applying to jobs on PD Portal. So our co-op job board is a great resource. There's hundreds of jobs on there, but those aren't the only jobs. Any job that you find could potentially be an internship job, provided it meets sort of our basic criteria. Essentially, it has to be a full-time position, has to be paid, it has to be a technical position related to your degree program or long-term career objectives. And it needs to be supervised. So you do want to be working with someone that's going to help to support you and mentor you and teach you. And a minimum of 12 weeks. So ideally you're working a 4-month term, and that's it really. So you're not restricted to any province, any country. In BC, and when our employers in BC, UBC is top of mind. And so when they're thinking of hiring a student, they go to UBC.
That's great. Thank you so much, Jennifer. We do have some questions here about the requirements, that what needs to be completed during the co-op program. Is there like essay, like any, like work requirements or submission requirements for the program? So I thought this might be a good opportunity, Jennifer. Would you mind just reiterating when a student would need to declare they would like to be interested in an internship, and then sort of what are those steps leading up to applying for jobs? Just again, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. So the general sort of timeline is students will start their MEng program in September. Usually sometime between September and December, the co-op program will reach out to all students that just started their program to let them know that the internship program is an option for them to participate in. We will invite you to attend an information session to learn more and the steps that you need to take in order to participate. It's in sort of January, February of your program is when we'll start to do the pre-employment training workshops, getting you prepared for the job search, getting your resume ready, getting cover letters prepared. And then your job search will start in May. All internships are usually posted 4 months in advance of the job search term. Or when you're scheduled to commence work. So you're scheduled to start your internship in September. So you're going to be starting your job search, April, May, June. And if you're successful in securing an internship, that internship will start in the following September. And once you're in your internship, you will be registered in a co-op course for every 4-month term. And so there is a UBC academic component to your internship. Yes, your number one priority is your job, but there are a few things that you will need to do for the co-op program. And these are really geared to help you maximize your opportunities. So we ask students at the beginning of their internship to develop what their learning goals or objectives are for the work term, and then making sure that they're sharing that with their supervisor to make sure that you're both getting what you want out of the internship. Students do have to do a very small co-op assignment. It's not an essay. It's a very, very short assignment, almost like a little quiz, just having you reflect on your learning experience. What are some of the skills that you've been developing? What has been sort of the biggest accomplishment for you during this time? So really having you reflect on your experience and how this is helping you achieve your career goals. And lastly, there will be the performance evaluation at the end of every 4-month term. So in order to pass the internship course, it's just a pass-fail course. You do have to complete the small assignment for the co-op program, and you have to get a satisfactory performance evaluation from your supervisor. So you do have to perform well in the job, and as long as you do that, you will get a pass, and that will show up on your transcript, showing that you successfully completed your internship or that 4-month course. And then once you've completed your internship, you will apply to graduate. And then at that point, you kind of move on to the next phase of your career where if you're an international student, you would apply for your postgraduate work permit and begin your new grad job search. Or if you're lucky enough to already have secured employment, you start your new job. Yeah, so that's kind of a rough overview of sort of the timeline of the program. Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer. And I think that just makes sense. It helps you reflect on what you're going to do when you work in your job, because you do have performance evaluations. Your supervisor does typically ask you questions like, where do you see yourself going in the company? What are your future goals? I know we get asked that a lot. So that's really like skills that are building for your career moving forward, and good practice to have so you know how to do that yourself to help yourself progress within a company. There is a couple of questions here, Jennifer, that we have typed answers to, but because they're coming up a few times, I just want to see if we can answer a few. Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to tell the students about once they're in the program, you're still very closely monitored by the co-op program. So every 4 months, we will do a check-in with the student and the supervisor to make sure things are going well. And we're really here to help support you. So if you have any questions or any concerns at all at any point during your internship, we definitely encourage students to reach out to the co-op program, to a co-op advisor to ask for their advice on what they should do. So if you're not sure about how to approach your supervisor about something, you can always contact your advisor and we can help support you with that as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for adding that. There's a couple other like logistic pieces that have just been asked a couple times that I thought it'd be good to answer live as well. And one of them is around the permit needed for the co-op internship. So I was wondering if you could share, I know that you do provide some advice about that, the permit needed, as well as if there is a cost difference between a domestic and international student for the internship.
Good questions. So if you are an international student and you want to participate in the internship program, the co-op program will issue you a co-op letter after you've started your master's program. So after you've gotten to UBC, started your studies, we will then provide you with that letter. You typically only need to apply for your co-op work permit 4 to 6 months in advance of when you need it. And you won't need to have it in your hot hands until the following September. So there's lots of time for you to get to campus, learn about the internship program, get the letter from us and apply and have it in time for your internship. If anything changes with that timeline, we will adjust, obviously, because sometimes processing times do change. In terms of the cost of participating in the internship program, it's the same cost. So domestic students and international students pay exactly the same fee for the co-op program, which I think might be the only program at UBC where it's the same cost for both student groups. So yeah, it's the same fees, for both students. The student fees might be slightly different. I think for an international student, they're the medical fee might be slightly higher. I'm not entirely sure about that. That's not my area of expertise, but the co-op program fee is the same.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for clarifying that. The next question here is for Shannon. So Shannon, we have some prospective students who have joined us here today. I just also, before I get into that, I do want to state that if you are a prospective student who is interested in our January intake, which is our new secondary intake into our MEng program, we've been referring a lot of dates and deadlines for our September intake because a lot of students that are starting this fall. But if you are here and you're interested in applying for that January 2026 intake, please reach out to us and we can review what that internship looks like for you. That opportunity is available regardless of which intake you come into our program, but we can go through that sort of layout individually with you if you have any questions. But the question for you, Shannon, if there's a prospective student who just wants to learn more about both our MEng program and the internship, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
So if you want to find out about the MEng program itself, the best way to get in touch with us is to email, and you're going to want to email engineering.graduate@ubc.ca. That's a really good way to get in touch with us. And if you want to find out about the internship program, I would suggest that you email apsc.coop@ubc.ca. So it's appsci.coop@ubc.ca, and you'll get into the queue for the experts to answer you.
That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you for going to that last slide. So it's visual there while you were sharing that, Shannon. So yes, if you are a prospective student and you have questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to go through your specific questions with you and work through what works best for you. So please reach out. That is what Shannon and Jennifer and all of us are here for, is to help both students who are already arriving as well as students who are looking into if this is an option for them. So I know we're coming up to time here, so I think it would be good, Jennifer, I was going to pass it back to you for that last question for all of our panelists. So thanks so much, everyone, for putting in your questions into that Q&A. If you didn't get a question answered today that you were hoping to get answered, you can always email engineering.graduate@ubc.ca, and we're happy to answer that question for you. But back over to you, Jennifer, for that last panelist question.
Awesome. Thanks, Marie. So the last question that I have for the panelists are, would you be able to share one piece of advice for incoming Masters of Engineering students who are interested in joining the co-op program or the internship program?
Sure, Jennifer, I can go first. So like all I would say is like this is the best opportunity as an international student to get a big breakthrough into the North American industry, right? To understand the work culture, to network better. So just keep applying for jobs. Don't wait till the deadlines. Try to finish it as soon as possible. Don't keep it till the last minute, and just don't use the same CV or same cover letter for all the positions you're applying for. Right? Try to tweak it a bit here and there so that it even if it doesn't exactly match the job description, but it's somewhere very similar to whatever the company or the profile is looking for. So I think, yeah, that would be from my side. Thank you.
I can go next. Thank you, Shubham, for sharing. I would add little bit things on top of yours. Yeah, change your resume and cover letter. Definitely what Shubham said, but don't lie on your resume. They're gonna catch you. So just be yourself, be real who you are, and let them know that you're willing to learn and you wanna conquer sky, you wanna fly high. The attitude you have to show them, and it's a lot of stress. We have been through this. As Jennifer was mentioning that, internship, you will be start applying internship in May. And I remember I was stressed in April itself. So yeah, try to finish as soon as possible you can, because it is so much stress. We have lots of courses and then again we need a job. So it's a lot. Um, On top of that, I would add, when you are actually doing your internship, be very aware, when you are in corporates or in industry, not everything is straightforward. You have to read between the lines. So be willing to learn, ask feedbacks from your manager, be proactive, ask for work. Don't sit and just wait, oh, when they will say I'll work. No, you are there to learn. And be curious, ask questions because they are there for you. We are interns and they want to train us, and if you're an amazing person, they want to keep you. Why not? Who wants you to let a good employee go? So yeah, just be aware that if you are doing something which is not okay, you will get to know by yourself, and ask your manager, hey, it has been a month or 2 months, what do you think about me? Do you think, am I doing everything right? Do you have any constructive feedback? They are amazing. They help you, and that will actually boost your confidence and that will guide you in the right direction. So make sure to do that as well.
Well, firstly, I wanted to thank all for joining, and thanks Co-op Office and Engineering Graduate for providing this information session. Well, as an advice, it would be start early for applying, stay proactive, and treat the internship search like a job, and use all of the resources that you have, uh, and all the helps that you can get from Co-op Office, and try to connect with your peers and alumni, and don't be discouraged by rejections. You don't know what's going on for you. And every application and interview would be a chance for you to learn and improve. And if you are planning to join MEng program, or you're already in the MEng program, uh, do a favor to yourself and go for the internship. And you are going to thank yourself in future because of the opportunity you had.
I think that is a great way to end this session. Thank you so much for that, for that wonderful endorsement of the internship program. We've come to the end of our session, so thank you to everybody for joining the Masters of Engineering Internship Information Session. Great big thank you to Jennifer Eberly and our student panel. That's Vishnu, Amarelli, and Siobhan, and Brittany and Marie, who are also helping behind the scenes. If you have questions about the MEng program, just email engineering.graduate@ubc.ca, or about the internship, apsc.coop@ubc.ca. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you. Bye.